Well, Jack Mordaunt is a potential candidate. Maybe the ball will go into the middle. There are 5 Bolton Wanderers players. Good effort coming in from outside the box from Jack Mordaunt. And just for a moment, the net rippled, but it had gone on the outside of the post rather than the inside. I think maybe the Stevenage defence thought that perhaps a ball was going to be clipped inside the penalty area. He's part of a 2 with lateral Lewis. Now the Wanderers keeper
is off.
Lou Lomax had to come way out of his area, but both Wanderers will find themselves down to 10 men, and that might seem to be a little bit harsh. Was he really the last man? Well, Stevenage have got the possession now, and very often width is used by 11 against 10. And here is Aloyi, and a testing cross coming in, and the glancing header first time by Frank Norris goes wide of the mark, and Stevenage in possession again. A neat turn and a good finish as well from Kenny Brown. Well, moments ago he had an opportunity in front of goal and couldn't quite take it, but on this occasion, when he turned, he'd worked himself the space in order to shoot towards goal, and the finish was clinical from the right side of the 6-yard area. And it's now Bolton Wanderers 0, Stevenage 1.
Well, as you said, Peter, it was a great finish in the end from Brown. It was a fantastic low finish into the back of the net. I felt O'Neill got a little bit too tight to him initially. As that ball was played into his feet, the striker was looking to get his first touch, a sharp turn, which he did. O'Neill was just that little bit tight. He was able to be rolled. It was poor defending in the end, if you're honest. But a good finish. Don't take that away from the kid. It was a really good striker's finish. You can't see us getting too many opportunities.
Well, Lewis has dragged a defender away by his run as the 2 players go back into the middle as Mordaunt hits it in, and Lewis gets a touch, and the ball will come out, and maybe a shooting chance here for Coyne, and the shot comes in and hits the back of the net. And it's another goal in the FA Youth Cup for Toby Ritchie. Not from the halfway line this time, but a shot that took a deflection, and wrong-footed Max Woodford, the Stevenage goalkeeper. And in the 54th minute here at the Tough Sheet Stadium, it's level. Bolton Wanderers 1, Stevenage 1.
We've got to say, we just said you've got to make these count, and they certainly did. Opportunity broke to him. He's got the right-footed shot. He's got his head over the ball. He's kept it low. Crashed it past the goalkeeper through a few players. Goalkeeper's probably unsighted. But a great finish again from Toby Ritchie. It really was. He showed a bit of quality there that we've been asking for.
One of those that perhaps really needed perfection on it, really, but a good connection from the defender nonetheless as the effort deflects towards goal. There are appeals for a handball shout in there, but the referee's having none of it. But he has awarded Stevenage corner as that's what he did initially, but then he's been overruled by his assistant. Well read by Adesina. Turning superbly is Lewis. He's got support to his right from Sonny Coyle. Lewis inside the area. Support running through midfield now as the ball is played to Adesina, and then turned by Ritchie out wide to the right. Now Corey Thomas with a cross which deflects up into the air, hooked away by Impey. Still the danger not clear. Mordaunt maybe with a shooting chance. Clever ball, it's opened up. Brilliant save by the keeper. Danger still not clear for Stevenage, and down in the area goes Kirkpatrick. Penalty appeals waved away, and all of a sudden Stevenage are 2-on-2. Frank Norris playing the ball forward, and the offside flag up against Kenny Brown. Well, what an opportunity for Bolton Wanderers to make it 2. Some really good goalkeeping by Max Woodford denied Tobias Ritchie a second goal, but then Lucas Kirkpatrick went to ground, and they were loud shouts for a penalty. but one wasn't given.
It certainly wasn't given, Peter, but I say that move started. I tell you, great play from Jack Moddett. He's there. It looked like he was going to get the strike on goal, but he put a lovely little slot ball into the box. Toby Ritchie on it in a flash. Great strike at goal and a huge save from the goalkeeper. It broke in the end, and it looked like a penalty to me on Kirkpatrick. It looked like he was going to get the finish.
Norris holding the ball up, having support and switching it to Kenny Brown. Backtracking is Thomas. There's going to be a shot on goal here. There is. It's a very good shot indeed. Brilliant finish. What a strike to make it 2-1. Riley England, the scorer for Stevenage. And that really is a piece of quality from the young midfielder as he took receipt of the ball, and his right-footed effort was well beyond the reach of Luke Lomax. And it's now Bolton Wanderers 1, Stevenage 2. Kenny Brown has options left and right. He's looking to thread the ball through, and now Lomax has got to come out. Here's a chance of Mustafa. It's a simple finish. Fatty Mustafa takes an absolute gift and puts Stevenage 3-1 ahead and edges them a step closer into the last 16 of the FA Youth Cup. But until the ball goes dead, they won't get the chance to come on. And here's Riley England, who scored a fabulous goal, and he almost has another one. He's certainly not afraid to shoot from outside the area, and had that not been for the fingertips of Luke Lomas to push that onto the post, Stevenage would have had a fourth. And it's Stevenage who go through into the last 16 of the competition. At a tie that had a crucial factor attached to it, with Louis Evans being dismissed midway through the first half for a foul outside the penalty area, deemed as the last man, even though you might argue that there was cover around him of such. And that led to Stevenage making advantage with the extra man, Kenny Brown being able to turn on 34 minutes from an angle to the right of the 6-yard box, firing his side ahead. A credit to Julian Darby and all of the Bolton Wanderers team at half time, because coming out for the second half, they adapted extremely well. They got the ball forward, they got inside the Stevenage half and inside their opponent's penalty area, and were able to find an equalising goal through Toby Ritchie, who took it superbly, as he was able to turn his man and finish brilliantly past Max Woodford. But then on 72 minutes, Riley England, who certainly has got plenty of confidence, he scored from outside the penalty area, and then shortly after that, a mix-up in the Bolton Wanderers defence, and Kenny Brown, the Stevenage attacker, closed down Luke Lomax, and the ball ran free to Fatty Mustafa, who had the simple task of steering in from short range to probably at that stage put the tie beyond Bolton Wanderers' reach. But again, looking at the 4 rounds, John, Julian Darby's done his utmost. He's given everything as new team manager, and those players have really given their all tonight in difficult circumstances. And I think when the dust settles and they can reflect on the 4 rounds, they can emerge with some real credit.